Okay, so we're going to talk about how do you know if a function is quadratic or linear. And we're just going to talk about looking at the equation right now. So we could graph these and look at them and say, what do they look like? But ultimately, I just want to be able to look at this equation up here and say, hey, is this a quadratic equation or is this a linear equation? There's something special about them. So quadratic and linear has to do with the power that your variable is raised to. And in this y equals x plus 2, the power that x is raised to is a 1. You don't see it there, but it's a 1, x to the first power. So this is a linear equation. And over here on the right, we've got y equals x squared plus 3x minus 5. This 3x, this x is to the first power, but there's also an x over here that is to the second power. So what you're looking for is the highest power, and the highest power x is ever raised to is 2. So this is a quadratic equation. It has a linear term, sure, but it is a quadratic equation because the highest power is 2. Okay, good, we got that clarified. Now, if we look down at these bottom ones, they look kind of different. There's some weird stuff in there, and if I look at this 5x times 4x, I look at it and say, well, those are both x's to the first power, so it seems like it should be linear. But it's not written in the form that you'd like to see it in. It's kind of has stuff multiplied still. So you want to multiply everything out first and kind of get it simplified, and then you can determine if it's linear or quadratic. So in this one, it's two things multiplied here, so I'm just going to go 5 times 4 is 20, and x times x is x squared. And then we can look at that and go, okay, now this is in standard form, so I've got x squared, 2 is my highest power, so this is a quadratic equation. Okay. Over here on the right, on this one, at first glance it kind of looks like it's a quadratic. I see an x squared right there, but again there's some multiplication going on right here, and so we need to multiply this thing out first. So if I do x times 2x, I'm going to get 2x squared. If I do x times -1, because I'm doing the distributive property, I'm going to get minus x, or minus 1x. And then I have this minus 2x squared still sitting over here, so I need a minus 2x squared. Then if you take a look at this, we have a positive 2x squared and a minus 2x squared. Those are like terms, and they actually add to 0, or subtract to 0. And then you're left with y equals -x. Well, what power is that x raised to? It's raised to the first power, even though it's not, you're not seeing it. And so since it's raised to the first power as the highest power, this is a linear equation. And that's how you tell the difference between quadratic and linear equations.